Let's get on George Kittle. Rob, what do you got? What's AI saying?
Let's see what AI has today for me. George Kittle. Here we go.
AI.
George Kittle is known for being an exceptional tight end with a combination of dynamic receiving skills and strong blocking ability. He excels in both the passing game and the run game, using his athleticism, speed, and physicality to make plays and create opportunities. Kittle is also recognized for his toughness and versatility, making him a key weapon in the San Francisco 49ers offense.
I agree.
His ability to gain yards after the catch and his effectiveness as a blocker make him one of the most well-rounded and impactful tight ends in the NFL.
Let's start the clock. We already should have. We're 2 minutes in. Yeah, dude. Kittle, he's like the first of this whole Iowa fucking craze tight ends, isn't he? Who else was in there?
Not necessarily. I'm going to kind of throw myself into that category. You want to know why?
You went to Iowa?
No, I didn't go to Iowa, but you want to know why?
Why?
My first 2 years in the NFL,
Yeah.
my tight end coach
Who?
was Brian Ferentz.
Brian Ferentz, offensive coordinator for the Iowa Hawkeyes. I remember Brian Ferentz.
Yeah.
He'd always put you up on that board. He was a fun coach.
I love Brian Ferentz. I'll still remember to this day some of the lessons he taught me. And first off, he taught me how to block. He's the one who helped make me the blocker of who I was in the NFL.
Which is very much what
game.
Kittle is.
Exactly, and that's why Kittle is an all-around tight end, because they emphasize blocking first, no doubt about it. And on top of it, Brian Ferentz, many times, always told me, just keep being you, man. You're an awesome guy. Keep being you. It's going to get you to places that you would never imagine. So thank you, Coach Ferentz. I'll still remember that to this day. What I loved about Coach Ferentz, he says, when you're nervous, you're ready. And I was nervous coming into this podcast world, and I thought about him again. I thought about him every single game I had, and I was nervous. If you're nervous, you're ready. Thank you, Coach Ferentz.
You know what? And it's crazy. What Coach Ferentz basically said to you is probably everything that like Kittle is kind of shoots out on the field. You know, selfless guy, be yourself, which he's a very charismatic dude. When you think of, like, he's a funny dude. He's the guy who started Tight End U, which is this huge event which you get to go to all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's a character, not just off the field, but he's got that fun, like, little kid, like, Rob kind of energy, like Gronk energy when he's playing, because you guys both, like, when you guys both play, it looks like you guys are having the funnest time ever. You know, like, you guys like blocking. He loves blocking. Kittle gets open a lot because of how hard he blocks.
It's the truth, man. And if you're a good blocker in the NFL at the tight end position, you're going to be able to get those easy passes thrown your way. Like, that's the reward for blocking in the NFL, is the play action passes. When the linebackers step up, the quarterback just dumps it to you after the fake handoff to the running back, and boom, you catch it, 8 yards down the field, and boom, then you just make the safety miss. You can have a 20-yard gain off of a little play action pass and just keep the chains moving. But here's the question. Miami University was tight end U back in the day when I was high school. Is Iowa?
Who
they had freaking Greg Olson, Jeremy Shockey, Kellen Winslow.
Winslow Jr.
Yeah, Winslow Jr.
What did he say? I'm a soldier.
Yeah. I'm a soldier. And he's like that because you want to know why he said it? Because he absolutely leveled like 5 guys on one play.
Yeah.
And then they asked him about that play. And then he goes, I'm a soldier. He's not taking any shit. He's in war. But they had a couple other guys as well that was going to the league that they were sending. The backups were getting drafted.
Greg Olson.
Fucking
teammate.
I thought I said Greg Olson.
You know what?
I would never forget Greg Olson.
You can't. But that was the tight end U when we were growing up.
That was.
Tight end U now really has to be Iowa. And it's because of the start of this whole thing with Kittle. I mean, Kittle, 5th round draft pick, which makes it even more impressive. He's a 5th round guy. He wasn't the biggest dude. He wasn't the strongest dude, but he always fucking blocks his nuts off. He's willing to give his body up. He makes big time plays for his team when they need it on a crucial 3rd down. He makes red area blocks where he's taking his fucking defensive end and driving him in the end zone. Like, he's the guy that you always want to play with. That's the kind of, and he's always fun. You could tell he's positive. And he comes from like a Laura family from Iowa.
Wait,
like,
what do you mean, Jules? You can tell he is positive. Like, that's just a well-known fact that he is a positive guy. Whenever you're around George Kittle, like, your aura just lifts up. He's just always looking for the best thing out of anything that happens, you know?
Yeah, he's
Like,
very optimistic.
literally.
He's like optimistic, positive thinker.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and honestly, that's the kind of vibes that you gave off when we were in the locker room. There's guys that are hardos, there's guys that are asshole. Like I was a guy that was like I had to be in a certain mindset to
Asshole.
yeah, I had to be an asshole, not an asshole, but like
But you weren't. You weren't an asshole, but you were like
okay, I made guys
a
accountable.
hardo.
I was hard.
But you weren't that. You're just a tad bit because you were, like you said, you were making them accountable, and that's what the technique you used to make them accountable.
And that's because I worked so hard, and it took me a long place to get to where I got. So like that's what I was like. Then there was guys like Kittle and yourself that like you guys work insanely hard. You do great in the classroom, but you do it with like a smile on your face and you're always happy. Like there's different guys in the locker room and that's what I feel when I think of like George Kittle. That guy is just like a positive, great dude to have around, especially with, their locker room. They got so many different charismatics, characters there. You're like, it's just a great piece. I think he's a freaking baller.
And going back to Iowa, and being tight end they also had TJ Hawkinson come out of Iowa, one of the highest paid tight ends in the game. Noah Fant. How do you say his last name? Faint? I don't know. Font. Noah Fant.
Seattle. He's boss.
Yes. He's a great player. He's huge, man. That dude's huge.
Tall.
You got Sam Laporta, the best rookie last year, went to the Pro Bowls, over 800 yards. I'm sure he's going to have over 1,000 yards and 10-plus TDs this year as well. Give the University of Iowa for this decade, to be known as tight end U.
For sure. The story about his dad writing him letters before every game, that's pretty hard-hitting. Did your pops ever write you anything?
No, my pops never wrote me anything like that, but he always motivated me, especially growing up. He always told me, hey, if you want to be better than everyone else, if you want to get to the next level, you got to outwork everyone. And my dad's been selling fitness equipment for over 30 years now, so he put a weight room in the basement and said, hey, you want to make it to the pros, buddy? You want to make it? You want to be able to dunk? You want to be able to block? You want to be able to toss guys around? Well, get your ass in the weight room and get stronger now. He wasn't a hard ass about it, but he always led us that way. Hey, get in the basement now. You want to be strong? Get in the basement. You want to whoop some ass? Get in the basement.
That you got to have that. He's got that same, it may be different because he's getting letters and you're eating weights. It's still that dad kind of love. Like I had mine in a different way. You always know and hear about him and his relationship with his family. He seems like just a fun dude off the field too.
He is a fun dude.
Have you ever hung out? You ever hung out with him?
I've only hung out with him at Tight End U, and I just met him a couple other times, just really quick. And he's always fun, just so positive. And what I love about him, though, is that we are very similar. That's for sure. We have similar game. He's an all-around tight end, and he's the best all-around tight end in the game right now.
Blocker.
Yes, blocker.
Catcher.
Yes, in the receiving game. What I really love about him is he's a WWE fan, bro. And he's the ultimate WWE fan. Pretty sure he's done a couple things with WWE, I think with WrestleMania. I think his favorite wrestler is like Luka Hana. He has that vibe to go into wrestling after he's done playing. He always be cutting WWE promos.
Yeah,
he's always
good.
Upbeat. I mean,
he's good at those.
He's got great energy. I mean, in order to start National Tight End Day, he started Tight End U while playing. He's got a lot of juice, and that's why people love him. That's why his teammates love him. I mean, I'm sure how many guys do you think he has picked up on his team that are down, that don't feel like playing, but there he is. He's there every day. Hey, guys, let's go. Let's have fun. Let's go make some plays. Let's go catch some balls. Let's go do this. Let's go do that. His just aura is to pick guys up around him. That's a guy you want in your locker room. 100%. That's a guy you want on your team, especially at the tight end position, the best position in the game.
I mean,
not biased,
I mean, he was a standout on the TV show Receiver. I mean, that's how big of an aura he has for a tight end. Like, he went under receiver and pretty much dominated that show.
Yep.
Not saying, like, statistically this, that, but, like, his story was, like, so fun watching on that. Him and his family, and he's got a crazy sneaker collection. He's a monster.
He is a monster, and it's just, he's like a guy that you want to work out with. When you're working out, sometimes you go into the workout, and you're like, I got to work out.
He's like a James Devlin in the weight room.
He is, but then you just start working out with him, and boom, automatically the switch is switched. And
music's loud.
It's like turning the lights on. When you're around him, you hit that switch up and boom, The lights are on.
I bet you he has a come out to the weight room song when he goes into the weight room. Like he probably puts on one song, like a wrestling song, like a Stone Cold, and like that's how I bet he starts his fucking workout because he's so like that.
What I don't like about him though is he broke my receiving record. Well, Travis Kelce did too that year, but George Kittle broke my receiving record.
He broke your civil record?
Yeah, I had 1,327 yards that one year. And yeah, he broke that. And plus he had a 200+ yard game, which is incredible. As a tight end, that 200+ yards.
But that's 10 minutes. We got to determine.
Oh my gosh. Absolute monster.
So where do we put him then? What kind of dude is he?
What kind of dude is he?
Is he a stud, a freak, a dog, a whiz, or a dude's dude? I mean, he's kind of a dude's dude.
I think so.
He's a stud, but like he's so positive. Like people don't.
Bro, you understand either. He's a freak, bro. This guy is so strong. Pound for pound in the weight room, he might be the strongest guy on the team.
Yeah, he's got that weird leverage strength.
I think he like deadlifts like 500+ pounds. From what I hear, I never worked out with him, but
he's mentally he's got dog in him. But I'm leaning towards dude's dude.
He is a dude's dude. I got to go with that because he's a locker room guy.
Positive
energy.
Calm, cool, collect always. I've never seen a bad mic'd up on him.
No, I never have, man.
Like I've yelled at referees and I've sworn like he's just like always like
I actually envy his energy.
I want his energy.
Oh, wait, time out. Wow. We forgot his pitcher as well. Jules, I blame that on you. I blame that on you, Jules, because you were the veteran with the pitchers on the very first show.
That's my bad.
And that was my first time. I needed to be reminded.
The pitcher is so kid.
You forgot. But there he is, everyone. There he is. That picture just exemplifies him. That explains him totally. Tongue out, having a good old time, smiling with his tongue out. You know how hard that is to do?
Wrestling hair.
It's all greasy. Hasn't showered in a week. Just has dudes all over him from the last practice.
Swaggy sneaker.
Yeah.
I mean, that.
Oh, man.
George Kittle.
He's a dude's dude.
He's a dude's dude.
He is. I just on the field, off the field.